Alright, the last video cut short at 11 minutes because I already had limited space on my iPhone for the video. Why? Because I'd already recorded a lot of videos that I still am yet to post. But yeah, to get back into it, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I hate judging people's faith because I really feel like that's something that is so up to only God to do. I feel like God is the only one that's qualified to judge your faith. I feel like your faith is between you and God. But I rest assure you that I guess you could say as I get older, as I grow into my discernment, casting crowns, that is. As I grow into my walk with the Father, I rest assure you that I am faced with those challenges literally every day of judging people's faith. And I feel like, or at least, if not every day, quite often, because I rest assure you, I don't like judging anybody's faith, but I rest assure you that sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to do it, but you got to do it according to sound doctrine, because I rest assure you that everybody got their opinions on things, and again, if it's, especially if it's bad about sound doctrine, I mean, you have a pretty good case. And I just let you know, like, I don't like judging anybody's faith, but I rest assure you that the way the world is today, it's obvious that you have to be willing to judge somebody's faith. You have to be willing to, because a lot of people have fake faith, and the probably song title gonna be fake faith, because I'm not even joking. One of the top problems that I see in our culture and society today is fake faith. You have a lot of people who have fake faith because, like, and you're probably like, what, Nate, what is fake faith? Fake faith is when you're only using God to get purely what you want. Like they've said before, like you using God as a genie. Stuff like that. That's part of fake faith. Another part of fake faith would be when you're one-sided to things. You literally are one-sided and or a bigot to everything. You never want to look at the full big picture. That means you only want to look at what keeps you in your sin. You don't want to look at what drags you out of your sin and or carries you out of your sin and condemns you for your sinful acts. You only want I want to say what fleshly benefits you or something like that. And I rest assure you that again, we all are flesh here. So let's just get that straight. But like one of my good friends told me a couple years ago, or last year, and I understand this because like I preached it before. We are all made of flesh, and one of the top ways we're attracted to people, other than the personality and attitude, is the flesh. Is how is their face, is their face, their body, etc. Their hair. You get the point. How their makeup looks. So I mean, it's how toned they are, how buff, ripped. You get the point. And I rest assure you that so not everything of the flesh is bad, but again, it depends on how far you're taking it. It really does depend on how far you're taking it. And another thing I really want to let everybody know is the fact being that, yeah, I'm not an official licensed pastor by any means, but I did take a test like literally a couple months ago where it literally told me that I was a prophet. So yeah, another nickname of mine is called Nate the Prophet, because that's what Pastor Nate is a nickname for me, because I preach a lot. I don't shy away from it, or I try my best not to shy away from it. But I definitely, like I said, I love preaching. I love God's word. And not as I read the Bible every day, because I don't, but I love God. I love God's grace, His love, His discernment. It's all it. My life is living embodiment, living, breathing proof of God's love, of God's judgment, of God's a lot of grace, mercy, a discipline, a will to live, so much, so much, so much. And I just want to let y'all know that like I said, a lot of people live with fake faith, and I'm telling you, one of the top things that I'm gonna do throughout my travels in 2019 is I'm gonna help get people out of their fake faith. And hopefully I don't die in the field doing it, but if I do, just know I'm definitely going to heaven, because that's dying doing God's work. Because a lot of people, I rest assure you, they don't want a lot of people, they don't want to get out of their way, their own way. They don't want to get out of their sin. They want to just follow trends, and I mean negatively, that is. Because the way I look at that is yeah, the get out of your own way part, a lot of people don't understand. The number one way to, or the only number one, only, whichever one you want to use there, the key to world peace, ladies and gentlemen, is to love thyself as love thy neighbor. Sorry, love thy neighbor as thyself. That's the key. That's the golden ticket on the Polar Express to world peace. Is to love thy neighbor as thyself. And you have so many groups out there, particularly on YouTube. They do everything but love thy neighbor as thyself. It's like it's like when Gab was on CNN for a month or two ago. Like they say, Gab has become the social media platform for people who love to hate. And I rest assure you that that's what we're trying to get people out of in 2019. Get people out of their hateful, bigoted ways. Because I haven't joined Gab yet, but I'm willing to bet if I do, I'm going over there to obviously pastor people and help get things cleared up. But obviously, them people probably would rather curse me out and do a lot of other things than convert. And not to say that I don't curse at times, because definitely, Lord knows, at times every day I curse, honestly. At times I can curse like a sailor, honestly. It's not something that I like or take pride in. I never did, never will. Especially to the youth, I'm never taking pride in my sinful ways at times, but I can rest assure you that every day is a new opportunity to, as I've said before, like every day I'm born again. Like every day I'm trying to, get cleaner, get newer, do better. Do better, make more, build more. You get the point. Take like you say, take your next step in your walk with the Father. Stuff like that. But I'm high and heavy on those beliefs. Like every day I'm born again. Every day I, trying to get better, trying to get cleaner, do more things right. And again, you'll see God's love manifest in your life, living like that. And I do believe we have a lot of healthy, happy people in this world, but we also have a lot of negatively ill, sick, twisted, demented people in this world. And I rest assure you that we're trying to eliminate as much hate in the world as we can in 2018. Sorry, 2019. Sorry, 2019. One of the top things I feel like we face in this fallen world, lost culture and society, is just I told the kids I was mentoring today, like, hey, it's obvious the people that need God's love ain't in church. It's obvious they're not in church. They probably don't even believe in the Bible, believe in God. It's obvious the people who need God's love need, at least if you were to ask me. But that's not to say that the people in the church are so darn perfect, because they are not. Just because you're in church don't mean you a saint. And dare I say it, is not supposed to mean you're a saint. But it is supposed to mean that you're taking those steps in your walk with the Lord to get better, to get cleaner, to truly, live the lit life. You could even say that's my motto: live the lit life. But in 2019, one of the top things that we're doing is we're going out there to try to preach. We're going out there to not just preach, but truly pass God's love, judgment, grace, will to live, and so forth in people's lives everywhere. Because I can rest assure you, we can end suicide today, or we can take steps towards ending it. A better way of saying it, we can take steps towards ending suicide, especially youth suicide. We can take steps towards ending that today. We can take steps to ending depression today. We can take steps to living a healthier, happier life. But one of the top ways to do that is you have to learn how to get out of your own way. And what that means is like admitting you're wrong at times. Admitting you're wrong at times. Admitting you're wrong. Admitting you're weak. Admitting you need help. And admitting you can't do this by yourself. Now, everything I just named, for a lot of people, I can rest assure you, it's very, very hard for people to admit. Top things is very hard. It's very hard for people to admit they need help and they can't do this by themselves. It's very hard for a lot of people to admit that. But I can rest assure you that's one of the top things you have to do in order to be converted and get clean. You have to ask for help and seek out these vices. Top things I want to tell the youth, because again, I got baptized last June 22nd. One of the top things I want to tell the youth is do what you have to do to get clean today. Take those steps, like I told my friends, the kids I was mentoring today. It's a process, ladies and gentlemen. It's a process towards your everlasting life. It's a process. It's a process towards doing what you got to do today to make tomorrow better, which is the makings of the better tomorrow, phrase that I've said so many times throughout the last couple years. It's a process. You have to be willing to go through that process. If you're not willing to go through that process, then again, think about why things are the way that they are in so many cases. Again, check your discernment, check your spiritual knowledge, check all these things, ladies and gentlemen, because again, we live in a fallen world. We live in a world where you have a lot of false prophets. In case y'all haven't seen, there's a lot of Christian or so-called Christian musicians and etc. who are practically, I wouldn't say being exposed every day, but they're definitely being confronted every day, by these Christian truthers that are calling out these Christian artists like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be saying that. You know, you got a flock and you're leading them astray. I know I have a flock too, and I rest assure you that I seek to lead none of you astray. That's why I've literally said time and time again, check your discernment. Use your discernment. Use God's judgment on me, because I seek to lead none of you astray. I seek to lead you into I seek to lead you the Lord's way. Lead you into the way of the Lord, or lead you the Lord's way. I was trying to rhyme astray with way there. But yeah, I seek to lead you the Lord's way. I literally do. Because I'm telling you right now, that's